Have you ever wondered that the greatest poverty in a person's life isn't a lack of money, but a lack of the right mindset? This is the story of a beggar who changed the way he thought and ended up changing his entire life. At a busy railway station, there lived a beggar. Every day, he boarded passing trains, asking passengers for money just to survive. One day, while begging, his eyes fell on a tall man wearing an expensive suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks very wealthy. If he gives me something, today will be a good day." He walked over, held out his hand, and said, "Sir, could you please help me?" The man looked at him, smiled, and asked, "You spend your life asking people for things, but have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar was confused. He replied, "Sir, I'm a beggar. What could I possibly have to give?" The man smiled and said, "If you have nothing to give, then you shouldn't expect to receive either. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you can offer me something, I'll gladly give you something in return." With that, he boarded the train and left. But those words stayed in the beggar's mind. He spent the entire day thinking, maybe people give me so little because I never give them anything in return. Then another question came to his mind. But I'm just a beggar. What can I possibly give? For the next 2 days, he searched for an answer. On the third day, he noticed beautiful flowers blooming outside the station. Suddenly, an idea came to him. What if, every time someone gives me money, I give them a flower in return? He picked a few fresh flowers, and from that day on, every person who gave him money received a flower. Something surprising happened. People loved the small gift. They smiled, accepted the flower, and happily gave him money. Slowly, his daily earnings began to increase. He realized people were no longer giving out of pity alone. They were receiving something in return. A few days later, he saw the same businessman on the train again. This time, the beggar walked up with a smile. He said, "Sir, today I have something for you. Here's a flower. If you like it, you may give me something in return." The businessman smiled, accepted the flower, and handed him some money. Then he said, "Wonderful. Now you're a businessman too." Moments later, he got off at his station. But this time, those few words changed the beggar's life forever. "Now you're a businessman too." The sentence echoed again and again inside his mind. Suddenly, he realized he wasn't simply begging anymore. He was offering value and receiving money in return. That meant he was doing business. He looked up at the sky and said with confidence, "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman. And one day, I'll become a very successful one." The next morning, he disappeared from the station. About 6 months later, 2 well-dressed businessmen met at the same railway station. One of them smiled and asked, "Do you recognize me?" The other looked carefully, but couldn't remember. Then the first man smiled and said, "I'm the same beggar you spoke 2 months ago. You taught me 2 unforgettable lessons. First, if you want to receive something in life, you must first give something. And second, I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman." The man was astonished. "So, what do you do now?" The former beggar smiled and replied, "Today, I'm a successful flower merchant. The money I earned by giving flowers at the station became the seed of my business. I started buying flowers, then selling more every day. Little by little, my business grew, and today,
I own a successful flower business." The two men smiled, shook hands, and went their separate ways. The lesson: money alone doesn't make a person rich or poor. Your mindset does. The day you stop seeing yourself as small is the day your journey towards success truly begins. Always remember, the world often sees you the same way you choose to see yourself.